In today's video, we're going to be talking about the L.E.R method. And what the L.E.R method is, this is going to be the best way to ensure that you are actually on your customer side. So if you want to learn more about this technique and how you can use it to improve your customer service skills, please stay tuned to the end of the video and I'll teach you everything there is to know about it. Now, let's get into the L.E.R method and exactly what it is. Now, for this example here, we're going to be saying that the business that I'm working at, okay, is going to be a medical call center. Okay, so that's going to be the physical business is a medical call center. Now, we have a customer by the name of Kim, okay, and Kim calls in because she needs a new ID card and she needs a new EOB, which that means the explanation of benefits. Okay, so this is our scenario. So we work at a medical call center and Kim is calling in to get an explanation of benefits, aka an EOB, and she's also calling in to get an insurance card. Now, let's see how the L.E.R method can actually be applicable in this situation right here with Kim. Now, first, let me explain what the L.E.R method is. Now, the L.E.R method stands for listen, empathize, and repeat. Now, these three things right here are going to be very crucial in making sure that you appear to be on your customer side, almost like you have their best interest at hand. Even though sometimes you may not actually genuinely care what the customer is going through, but it's that perception that you should paint to every customer. Every customer needs to be made to feel like that you actually care. So once you can make the customer feel like you care, then that will take your customer service skill set to a whole nother level. And L.E.R will get you there. Now, let's start out with discussing the L, listen. Now, in the world of customer service, it's very important to listen to every word that your customer is saying. Now, if you don't listen, you can miss critical things that the customer is saying. So, now, one other big thing that can also alter your listening abilities when you're doing the L.E.R method is to have distractions. And one of the worst distractions that we can have that actually hinders us from listening to what our customer has to say is our phone. Now, I used to work at a medical call center back in the day, and we had a couple of people who was in the back on their phone watching like the 50 Cent movie on Power. It was a good show, really good show, but they were in the back watching the movie on their phone while trying to listen to what the customer needs about her medical benefits. So I would be sitting back with my little headset on looking like, how in the hell are y'all going to actually provide great customer service? How are y'all actually listening to what this customer needs if y'all are worried about what Ghost is doing on the show? You know, like who shot him, who did this, who did that. So they actually were not listening to the customer. So now, again, please put all cell phones away. So no games, no movies, no phones whenever you're listening to the customer. Now, the E is going to be for empathize. Now, when you empathize with your customer, this is going to make you seem more relatable. This is going to make you seem more human in the eyes of your customer. And when the customer calls in, that's the only eyes that it should be apparent to that you want to be appealing to, and that's going to be the customer because they're the ones who are actually paying your bills. So it's best if you actually can empathize with them, with the things that they're going through, even though it could be something so trivial as missing a pack of tomato ketchup from their order. It doesn't matter. You should still empathize with that customer because that customer chose to spend money with your business, and by them choosing to spend money at your business, that actually allows you to pay your rent for the month. That actually allows you to pay your car note for the month. So it's best to actually empathize with customers, again, regardless of your personal feelings about what they're calling in about or anything like that. Now, the next thing, and one of the most crucial pieces of this whole puzzle, is going to be repeat. Now, once you repeat back what the customer is saying, that's going to allow you to give off that perception that you actually have been listening to what the customer was saying while they were talking. Okay, so that's a very, very, very critical point right here on the L.E.R method, is to actually repeat back what the customer is saying. So that way they'll know that you got a general good grasp of what they're actually talking about. Now, I'm actually going to give y'all an example of this, again, using the medical call center with the customer named Kim, who's calling in to get an EOB, and she's also calling in to get her ID card. Now, here's the situation, and we're going to apply the L.E.R method in this entire situation. Now, here we go. Thank you for calling Tony's Medical Call Center. This is Tony speaking. How can I help you today? Oh, hey, Tony. My name is Kim. I'm calling in to get an EOB, and I'm also calling in to get a new ID card. We had a few things that was going on inside of the family, Tony, so I just need to get those things right there pronto. Okay, Kim, I completely understand. Now, I heard you say that you had a few things that was going on. Is everything okay, Kim? Yeah, Tony, everything is all right. You know, we just had a few things going on. My husband, his diabetes went up, and that's why we need the EOB and stuff, so that way we can get a good grasp of his plan to see exactly what benefits that he qualifies for. You know, my son, he was out and he lost his ID card, and while he lost his ID card at the mall, that's why I need another ID card for him. But you also can give all of us an ID card, Tony, so just please send all of us an ID card. Now, in the example, Kim stated that she needs an ID card. Kim stated that she needed an EOB. Kim also stated that her son lost his ID card. So Kim is actually calling in with a sense of urgency. So let's just say if Kim would have called in saying that stuff right there, and I would have been sitting back playing Angry Birds on my cell phone. So Kim could have called in looking for the ID card, the EOB, and everything like that. And had my mind had been distracted by not listening to Kim, I could have sent Kim's dog an ID card. You know, because my mind wouldn't have been thinking exactly that Kim's son lost the card, and everything that Kim was mentioning in the example, my brain would not have been able to retain that information had I had any kind of distractions. So in the L.E.R method, it's critical to listen to what the customer is saying. And one great way to be able to listen to what the customer is saying is to have no distractions. No distractions. Now, empathize, the E in the L.E.R method. Now, here's how you can apply the E method in the L.E.R scenario to Kim. Now, all right, Kim, now, I just want to make sure that you have everything that you need. Okay, you said that you need to have an EOB, Kim. And then you said also that you need to have ID cards sent out to every single member of your family, right? And you said that your son actually lost his ID card in the mall. Now, he didn't lose anything else, did he? Like, meaning that he didn't lose his credit card or he didn't lose anything else, because you have to make sure that nobody goes and put a vote in his name or nothing. So please make sure that your son didn't lose any other kind of valuable information when he lost his ID card in the mall. Now, you see in this example right here, I appeared more relatable. Tony, the call center agent, he actually appeared more relatable. For the simple fact of he actually cared what Kim was going through. He actually cared what the customer was going through. Even though Tony has never, ever seen Kim a day in his life, but Tony still gave Kim that perception that he cared what she was going through. And that's all that matters. That's all that matters. So now, let me go to the R in the L.E.R method. Repeat. So basically, we kind of covered that a little bit on the empathize, but I will go back. So here's the example of the L.E.R method using the R, repeat. Now, Kim, you say that you need to have an ID card sent out to every member of your family. You say you need to have an EOB. Now, Kim, does every member who needs the EOB live there. Now your son, is he living at home with you also? So that way, if not, I can send his EOB to his correct address. I don't mind doing that for you, Kim, because you want to buy very valued customers. So I want to make sure that you have every single thing you need, Kim, especially with your husband having diabetes. You said his diabetes went up. So I want to make sure that you get all this information, Kim. So just let me know, do all members of your household live at home with you, or do I need to send anything to any other address? Then at that point, Kim would be thinking in her mind, like, damn, like, Tony, he's on top of it. He listened to what I was saying, he empathized with me, and then he repeated back what I was saying. Now, when you do things like this right here for your customer, when you go above and beyond for your customer, what that's actually going to do, that's actually going to paint a phenomenal picture in the eyes of your customer about your company. Because so it's just basically just going to just almost like cement it into the customer's brain, like, wow, this medical call center actually cares about me as a customer. Wow, they hired a great man named Tony, and Tony got me on the phone within 5 minutes. I had an EOB, my husband had an EOB, my son had an EOB, I had my ID card, my husband had his ID card, and my son had his ID card. Tony did every single thing I needed him to do, and heck, he didn't even transfer me to another agent. See, when you use the L.E.R method on your customers, again, that's going to allow you to seem more relatable. That's going to make you seem like the savior in the eyes of your customer. Because a lot of customer service reps, again, I'm not talking about nobody, but a lot of customer service reps in today's time don't really empathize with the customer. It's almost more so, almost like a, get them in, get them out and everything. Like, who can actually answer the most calls, who can crank out the highest amount of volume. That's almost what it appears like to me that I'm noticing in a lot of these companies in today's time. It's almost like it's a volume thing. It's like a lot of people don't really have the accountability, and it's like the high volume, like the more customers we can get in. And what that's actually doing, that's actually tearing your customer service department down. So if you can not worry about the volume, worry about listening, empathizing, and repeating back what the customer is saying, so that way you can always appear relatable in the eyes of the customer. I guarantee you, if you guys can do this, if you can change your customer service aspect to the L.E.R method, I guarantee you your profits will rise, because customers know who cares about them. People want to spend money with companies that actually care about them. And if you use the L.E.R method, listen, empathize, and repeat, that's definitely going to give first-hand service to your customers, and that's also going to allow your customers to know that you actually give a damn about what they have going on. Because just think about it. How good would it make you feel personally if the person who was on the other end of the telephone that you had to talk to, that customer service rep, if they actually made you feel welcome, did they make you feel important? You're going to go and tell your mama, your daddy, your auntie, your uncle. You're going to go tell any and everybody that you can about this particular company, because of the strong reputation that they have and the way how they made you feel as a consumer. Now, I want to leave you guys with one pro tip, okay? And please listen to this pro tip. So the pro tip is actually going to be, don't fall asleep behind the wheel. Now, here's what I mean by don't fall asleep behind the wheel. Now, let's just say if I was living a ding life, okay? If you live a ding life, D-I-N-G, ding life, as in a notification on your iPhone, a notification on your computer. It could be Slack, it can be Instant Messenger, it could be anything that dings and that takes your attention away from what the customer is saying. So let's just say if I was to fall asleep behind the wheel, that would basically mean that when Kim called in and Kim gave me all of that information that she needed, everybody in the household needed the EOB. Everybody in the household needed the ID card. You know, her son lost his wallet at the mall. Had I had fell asleep behind the wheel by living a ding life, meaning by looking at Slack. So once Kim was telling me all of that information, if I would have went back and got on here, oh yeah, oh man, Jenna just posted an emoji on Slack. Oh my God, this happened on this. Oh, instant messenger. Oh, this happened or whatnot. Oh yeah, Kim, yeah, hold on. So you say that you need a what now? What kind of ELB did you need? You need an ELB? What? Hold on, what? I'm so sorry, Kim. My phone went out. So in this example here that I just got through doing, that was a customer service rep who has fallen asleep behind the wheel. Now, when you do that, what that's going to do, that's going to actually prove 100% that you do not care about the customer and that you're only driven by making a income. You're only driven by wheeling the customer in and getting their money. So please do not fall asleep behind the wheel. Always stay focused, stay alert, and stay attentive to what the customer is saying at all times. Nothing should be more important than you tending to your customers' needs when they call in to your call center or come into your company. Now, please again, do not fall asleep behind the wheel, because if you fall asleep behind the wheel, that can actually cause your company to have a terrible name. And in the eyes of customer service and in the eyes of marketing, word of mouth spreads around faster than a social media post. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. Until next time, I'll catch you later.